What up, y'all? It's your boy Darius, and I'm back, y'all. So we have a video we're gonna react to, y'all. 5 rap beats that ruin careers. Now, rap beats, I love rap beats, man. I like battles that stays on wax though, but I don't like when it gets too far when people get killed. Like same thing with you saw we have with the Tupac and Biggie situation and how that turned out. But I just feel like with kids, family get mentioned in the diss tracks, I think that should be off limits though. But there's no rules kind of hip hop beats though. So let's check this out, y'all. Let's get it.
Feuds that forever changed rappers for the worse, because today, we're going to be looking at 5 rap beefs that ruined careers. Now, when it comes to rap beef, while most lyrical duels between rival artists only end up exciting audiences and giving the people involved in the feud more attention than usual, sometimes throughout hip-hop history, certain rap beefs have gotten so out of hand that beyond all the excitement and attention around hip-hop in its most competitive form, someone will walk away with not just an L, but with their reputation forever altered, and as a result of this, their careers usually spiral downhill quickly. Whether this was because image-altering secrets were revealed during the beef, or due to humiliating jokes and one-liners that made rappers unable to escape their own failure, with some of the most iconic feuds in hip-hop history, because of what went down during them. From some of the biggest rappers ever to some of hip-hop's greatest grifters, we have seen so many artists' dream careers turn into living nightmares from just messing with the wrong person. So if you're ready to see the feuds that broke careers, let's waste no time and let's get right into it. Now, kicking things off, the first beef we are going to be looking at that went horribly for someone was Drake versus Meek Mill, and with this feud, beyond the loss that Drake handed Meek with his pair of humiliating
yeah, I went over the beef between Drake and Meek Mill, who won battle, so if you want to go check that out, it's tied in the description of the video though. Go check that out.
Diss tracks with both Charged Up and of course Back to Back. What Drake did with the very concept of releasing multiple songs consecutively to make Meek look even weaker, and then also making a diss track that isn't just a straight up attack of one's character, but that can also be a hit song that is played over and over again on the radio, clubs, and in arenas, leveled up the type of influence.
Yeah, when this beef happened between Meek Mill and Drake, because Meek went on Twitter, said that Drake has a ghostwriter, that he don't write his own raps. Because Drake didn't tweet that Meek Mill's new album came out, which when Meek said it, I was like, I don't know if I could agree with that part. I didn't really believe that though until the Quentin Miller story happened, all that. So I don't know, but Drake did won though. Let's get that credit due though. Drake won though, because Meek, he took too long to respond, man. Because he went on Twitter saying Drake's diss track was Baby Lotion soft. It was the wrong move, but he was his diss track on 1-0. It was late. It was too late. Drake already won, so it's like people stopped paying to it. So Drake won that beef. So yeah.
And cultural impact a diss track can have in a feud, and as a result of the songs he dropped and the way a track like Back to Back went insanely viral as it spawned so many memes that made fun of Meek and also had some of the most quotable bars of the entire 2010s decade. Drake made it so that Meek Mill's loss could not escape him, and every time Meek did just about anything, because of all the angles Drake picked apart Meek from and the catchy way that he did it, Meek was constantly reminded of all the things Drake did to destroy him, and as a result of having an entire period in time where Meek was at the center of every joke and his head was fresh in the minds of people every time they heard one of the most culturally important and most popular songs of 2015. Meek Mill's career was ruined as his tough guy image was soiled, and a lot of his music just could not hit the same, knowing just how bad Drake picked him apart, made him look weak, and ultimately made him the most clowned rapper alive, and for a while, Meek just couldn't get away from the hate he was getting, all the way to the point where losing became so synonymous with his brand that he ended up naming his first album following the beef Wins and Losses, which sold considerably less than his previous studio albums and had nowhere near the same cultural impact. Now, while towards the late 2010s, it seemed like with this loss getting so bad that Meek Mill just embraced it. His career was heading to a full-on demise at a point in time. Meek was somehow able to save his image and really his entire legacy, as after having some trouble with the law, he came out stronger than ever and released an entire comeback album in 2018's Championships that featured a rejuvenated version of himself that captivated audiences once again. So overall, while the Drake beef may have ruined Meek Mill's career for a few years, Meek did show in 2018 that no matter how bad
I mean, it's not like Drake ended Meek Mill's career though, but he bounced back though, because Championship, I think that's one of Meek Mill's best work though, in my opinion though. So yeah.
you get humiliated. There's always a road to redemption that could help you redefine your entire image, and when it comes to this, it's safe to say that Drake needs to study how the guy he defeated was able to pull this off. Because after his beef with Kendrick Lamar, he is going to need to do the same thing as following how K-Dot took Drake's strategy of dropping back-to-back full-on diss tracks and didn't just do this once with Euphoria and 616 in LA, but also again with the far more effective Meet the Grams and Not Like Us. Kendrick humiliated Drake in a way that no other rapper has ever been able to before, as after out-strategizing Drake throughout this entire battle by being ahead of his every move and always having a way to counter any of his attacks, and at the same time by also giving the world diss tracks that have not just thrown out some shocking allegations Drake's way, but that have also had staying power and catchiness to become massive hit songs all the way to the point where Kendrick's Not Like Us has destroyed every single previous streaming record that was held by some of Drake's biggest hit songs. Kendrick has altered the way the entirety of the public doesn't just look at Drake, but also respects him, as after he called him out for being a horrible person and a creep amongst many other things. Between everything Kendrick said, and the infectious and viral way these disses have spread around the entire world, Drake's integrity is being questioned like it never has before, and while Drake is still going to remain as one of the biggest stars in the world, as this beef has went on, and he has been proven to be a straight-up liar about so many things, like his plot to set up Kendrick, and his claims about Kendrick's business partner Dave Free being the father of his kids, and all the other personal allegations he threw out. And at the same time, more of what Lamar said has been proven to be true or at the least believable. What is clear is that Drake's image is deep in the mud, and that no matter how Drake tries to move past this in the future, because of the way Kendrick's diss tracks were designed to make his entire existence look pathetic, and also due to the impact they've had culturally. While Drake will still sell millions of records, that's for sure, people will be thinking about everything Kendrick said to make the biggest song rap has had in years a full-on diss about Drake, and as a result of this, the failure of losing this beef is going to haunt the OVO rapper for a very long time, and no matter what success he sees after this, he will always have the stains Kendrick left on his resume follow with him forever. Now, with the beefs we've looked at so far, the main factor that destroyed Meek Mill for a while and is ruining Drake right now, beyond their losses and the massive impact the diss tracks about them have had, is that moving forward from these feuds, these attacks just left the artists in a place where no matter what they did, we could all tell that they were never the same from the aftermath of the battle. Whether this was Meek Mill's demeanor changing all the way to the point where he could title an album Wins and Losses as he was being labeled the biggest loser in hip-hop at the time, or even Drake releasing a song like The Hard Part 6, where he sounded so compromised and defeated after being so cocky throughout the rest of the beef both in the booth and on social media. When you see a rapper like these just acting in a way that they never have before, it only makes the impact of their L's worse and hurts their reputation even more because it makes it clear to the public that deep down inside, while they may not show it, they do know that they got destroyed. And when it comes to this, one of the strangest cases in this regard is not even with an actual rapper, but with none other than nobody's favorite fake producer, DJ Khaled, who was involved in one of the most random rap beefs back in 2019 with none other than Tyler, the Creator, that left one on the path towards having a
I didn't know that Ty Creator DJ Khaled had beef. I did not know that.
career year and solidifying themselves as a modern music legend, and the other solidifying themselves as the absolute biggest joke in hip-hop at the time. Now, Tyler and Khaled's beef didn't feature actual diss tracks or any sort of motion lyrically, but instead was over the head-to-head battle in May of 2019 for a #1 debut on the Billboard Top 200 Albums chart between Tyler, the Creator's 5th studio album, Igor, and Khaled's 11th, Father of Assad. And despite Khaled having the whole industry on this album, headlined by A-listers like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Travis Scott, and beyond just the high-profile names, he was also selling nutritional supplements that were bundled with the album to boost its sales, which I don't even think I need to go over why that was such a horrible idea, but with all of this behind the project, despite the heavy push, Tyler's Igor was still projected to take the #1 over it, and as a result, Khaled would encourage fans to stream the album and buy it to inflate its sales, and still, after doing all of this, Igor ended up beating it out for the #1 spot as it sold 165,000 copies in its first week as opposed to Khaled's 136, and as a result, Khaled just straight out lost it because as his brand was always about being how he's the absolute best and how he's #1, with Tyler dropping his latest album down to the #2 spot, he lost his entire identity, and while in actuality, this would have not been a big deal to fans or really anybody if Khaled didn't have anything to say about it, after the public meltdown he had for the entire world to see in this cringy video.
I make albums so people can play it and you actually hear it. You know, driving your car, you hear another car playing it, You know, go to the barbershop, you hear them playing it. You know, turn the radio on and you hear them playing it. You know, it's playing everywhere. It's called great music. It's called albums that you actually hear the songs. Not no mysterious shit and you never hear it.
Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to give you some feedback that I've been noticing. One of them
On your dome.
He would forever ruin his image in a way where Khaled went from a talentless artist that everybody kind of thought was funny to a talentless artist that everybody just hated. Now, by Khaled trying to defend his #2 debut by diminishing the success of Tyler by releasing this strange video where he tried to bash his music and say that it's not respectable because it's mysterious, because you don't hear it out in clubs or blasting in people's cars, and as Khaled sounded so hurt and bitter in this video.
Yeah.
People watched the thing, and when Khaled thought that everybody would support his attack on quote-unquote mysterious music, everyone just looked at him like a crazy person and used this moment to humiliate him even more as people started saying things like "we the second best" just to solidify his loss and really punch in for him what happened. And from this moment on, no matter how much Khaled has tried to move past this all-time low in his career, and to once again portray himself with the positive guy image that made him so beloved at one point, it has not worked out for him whatsoever as his album sales have dropped more and more with each new release from here, and this is because his true nature was exposed in this feud that he entirely escalated and caused, and overall, by seeing how fragile Khaled's ego was as he went berserk just by losing out on a #1 to one of the most respectable artists the music industry has. Khaled's career was absolutely ruined as people saw him to be the fraud that he is. And now, he doesn't just have significantly less commercial impact than before, but he has no cultural impact whatsoever. Now, when it comes to calling out frauds in hip-hop, this was the main motive in Eminem's beef with Benzino, as when his classic 2002 album, The Eminem Show, was released.
Yeah, so I'll be working on that Eminem Benzino Who Won This Battle. So the reason I haven't done it yet because I'm away see when Eminem's new album dropped, the Death of Some Shade. I don't know if he got a diss Benzino on that one, so I'm gonna wait. If Eminem doesn't diss Benzino on that album, I'm gonna start working. I'm not sure when though, but I'll keep you guys posted. So I'll definitely be working on the Eminem Benzino because I feel like Benzino, man, he started that beef with Eminem for no reason though, man. Who never said anything bad about him. So yeah.
The biggest magazine in hip-hop at the time, in The Source, only gave it 4 out of 5 mics, which Eminem was livid about, and even went as far to accuse Benzino of not giving him a higher score because of how he looked. Now from here, Eminem and Benzino's beef would escalate as M refused to do interviews with him, and this would follow in Benzino deciding to release diss tracks at M where he compared M to Vanilla Ice, called him overrated, and said that he birthed his career, and following all of this disrespect, in the very prime of both his career as a rapper and in the limelight when it came to being in controversy, Eminem made it his mission to destroy Benzino as he released 3 diss tracks with The Invasion, The Sauce, and Nail in the Coffin, and with this trifecta of songs, Eminem did lethal damage to not just Benzino's career as he called him out for his awful attempt at rapping, weird tough guy persona that he was trying to intimidate M with, and ultimately, and most crucially to his downfall, for his...
Yeah, nobody's scared of Benzino. Let's be clear, nobody look at him nobody's scared of him. Yeah, he tried to scare Eminem, but no, Eminem's like, I ain't taking you seriously. So yeah, I don't know what hit record does Benzino have, y'all. Let me know what hit record does he have.
Awful business practices with The Source, and from here, while everything M threw out definitely damaged Benzino's image, he would hurt himself even more than Eminem already did, as he responded with more diss tracks were in a scramble to try to save his credibility. He would try to threaten Eminem's daughter Haley, and by doing this, by bringing somebody's kid into a rap beef and saying some horrible...
Yeah, man, that's hella disrespectful. Wishing death somebody's kid? No, I can't. If you don't like the person, okay, that's cool. But you mention wish death somebody's kid? No, I can't fuck with that. I'm sorry. That's hella disrespectful, though. I want to know what was Eminem's mind when Benzino wished death on Eminem's daughter, though. Because that's hella disrespectful, though, man. But Eminem did respond back. Because he wished death on Benzino, too. Which, I don't like wish death on nobody. But thank God they never crossed paths, though. Because it could have been worse. So, yeah.
Things. Benzino lost all credibility and just looked like an insane freak to everyone, and this didn't just make Benzino such a joke all the way to the point where his own family in the music industry like Coi Leray does not associate with him to this day. But because of the pathetic way he acted during this feud, his actions and lack of professionalism even in the sport of battle rap, by taking family into things and just looking like a clown. Took down the magazine he co-founded with The Source with him, and made what was once hip-hop media's greatest achievement into a sheer and utter disgrace. So for Eminem taking down a man's career and the publication they put their entire life into in a rap beef, it's safe to say that this ruined things like few others ever have. And while with all these beefs that we've looked at, we have seen what has turned these L's from rappers into moments that have ruined their careers. Tends to be because they start acting differently and scrambling to say just about anything to defend themselves. We have never seen this way into speedrunning your reputation and everything you own into the ground worse than what went down with M and Benzino, because to this day, over 20 years later, the man who was once the mind behind the most powerful voice in rap music is now one of the genre's least respected people, and with Benzino still trying to come at him and do anything for clout. It seems like every time he's in a headline, this reputation is somehow only getting worse, and this downward spiral is only continuing. Now, when it comes to rap beefs that have ruined careers, while the feuds we have looked at have destroyed artists' reputations and shown them to be weaker than we once thought, the next feud we're looking at is one that has ruined one man's career so bad that their career is pretty much over in every sense of the word, and this is of course with 50 Cent and Ja Rule, and with this feud.
Yeah, that beat was very serious, man. I think that's in the top 3 greatest hip-hop beefs of all time, with Tupac and Biggie, 50 and Ja Rule, and Jay-Z and Nas. And to this day, 50 Cent and Ja Rule, those two are never gonna squash it, man. They're not. I don't see that happening, because 50, he's gonna troll Ja Rule for the rest of his life, though, man. I don't see these two ever squashing it. So, yeah.
As 50 is still trolling Ja to this very day, despite their feud starting all the way back in the late 90s over Ja Rule mistaking 50 for stealing his chain, and once he accused 50 of doing this, 50 of course never let it go, as he has made Ja's career a living nightmare for decades, as time and time again, their feud has taken so many different forms. Whether this was humiliating him with classic diss tracks like 2002's Wanksta, or having the feud escalate so much that 50 teamed up with Eminem and Busta Rhymes, who also had their own beef with Ja Rule, and they all came together to whoop him one time on the track Hail Mary. Through some of the most memorable diss tracks ever released, 50 just came at Ja relentlessly. And as Ja Rule's career has went on, and he has been involved in more controversial and embarrassing moments, this feud has taken an entirely new life, especially when we entered the social media age, as 50 Cent has transitioned from making scathing diss tracks about Ja to trolling him in the most hilarious ways possible, as whether it was buying out all the front row seats at his concert so nobody could sit, or just making sure to clown him pretty much any single time that Ja does about anything. 50 Cent has not let Ja Rule have one moment without him stepping on it, all the way to the point where today, nobody can even think of Ja Rule without thinking of 50 Cent always getting the best of him, and with Ja's actual music career at this point being beyond destroyed, as he can hardly sell a few thousand copies of projects, and he can't even do shows without getting booed. With all of this, and while Ja has even admitted in the past that 50 Cent has won their beef, despite him waving the white flag, 50 has still continued to come at him over and over again, and at this point, it looks like 50 will continue to make things a living nightmare for Ja Rule for the rest of his life.
Facts.
So overall, with the rap beefs we have looked at that in some shape or form have ended in ruins, while with most feuds and even some on the list, artists will still be able to find success in some shape or form. What has made these feuds stand out as some of the absolute worst in terms of the after effects is not the actual loss that any of these people took, but it's how they responded to the L, and whether realizing it or not, led them to find their personality and public ethos going forward. Whether it's the most positive man in hip-hop attacking another man's success, or a once feared rapper softening up their brand and letting defeat guide them, or the desperation to respond and defend your ego causing one to act out of character and brand, and maybe even say things that while trying to defend yourself completely backfire. All in all, the reasons these feuds stand out as ones that ruined careers is all because the people we have looked at have let their losses define them and haunt their every next move. So with all that said, let me know, who do you think's career got hurt the worst here, and are there any other feuds in rap music that you would add to this list? I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you want to see the complete history of every
Yeah, man. What beats got ruined? Death of Ja Rules. I'll say Meat Mill. I'll say it got ruined, but he bounced back from it. Drake and Pusha. I'll say I don't know. I want to say Drake got ruined, but I think the story of that shit was hard though, man. When he mentioned, cause a lot of people said that Pusha made Drake become a father. I don't want to say it got ruined though, but Drake's still relevant. So I'll give Pusha the win on that one. Jay-Z and Nas, nobody got ruined, but I think Ether was hard though. it was hard, man, because he dropped that on Jay-Z's birthday though, which that was crazy. That I didn't even know that myself though. That Nas dropped Ether on Jay-Z's birthday. So yeah, guys, there's a lot of beats. So yeah, Eminem, the Benzion, I think Eminem shouldn't entertain it, in my opinion, because he is nowhere close to this level though. So yeah, so I'll be working on that. So be on the lookout for that. What beats you guys want me to do on the Who Won the Battle episode? Let me know in the comments. I might do that one for you guys. So make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. I'll see you guys next video. Peace out, y'all.